don't forget to give it a Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. If you guys are new here, welcome. If you guys are old here, blessed be for being here today. Now, today's video is a little, eccentric. I will be telling you a story, a Halloween story, if you will. I thought it would be cool to do a little story with a pregnancy theme. So, pregnant murder. Today's story is about Amber Hilberling. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard of this story, but I actually was just Googling some true crime by pregnant women, and it actually just shocked me. It blew my mind, and I was just like, you know what? This is the story I will tell today. So for my first true crime storytelling, we will talk about Amber Hilberling. Now, while I'm telling the story, I will be make-upping my face. If you have an issue with anything that I'm doing on my face, hunty, that's your prerogative, because the way I do my makeup is the way I do my makeup. I don't try to professionalize it. I don't try to look like the glamour dolls that are out here with all the full face of makeup. I don't do a full face of makeup. So that's how that goes. I do the makeup how I feel like I want to do it. So with that being said, my little disclaimer, let's jump right into the story. In 2011, Amber Hilberling and her husband Josh were in their 25-story apartment, and something went awry in the apartment. The two young couple, I believe he was 23 and she was like 20. The young couple was arguing. I don't know exactly what the arguing initially was. I did find out that they were arguing. Well, I did read something about them having been arguing about Josh wanting to sell pills on the day that he was supposed to be accompanying her to her father's wedding, but I am not sure if that is the true case. But I found that on a weird website. I won't name the website. I found that on a weird website, so I'm not sure if that is actually true or not, but that is like the rumor that's going around. So supposedly Josh was let go from the Air Force because of drug use. So that there might be some truth to what that site said, but there might be some truth, but I'm not sure. So we're just gonna put that in the air and move on. So the couple was arguing, and somehow a window got broken. Josh broke a window out of anger somehow, and they started arguing even more. Like, Amber started to really lose her cool. And I don't know what happened, because there is very vague information out there about the stipulations of the argument, like what actually went down. As far as how the argument went while it was escalated or what was said, I don't know. But what I do know is that it escalated to the point where Josh was mysteriously pushed out of their 25-story window. Now, this window was like one of those rectangular shaped windows, and he was supposedly a 6'6" guy. So he was a really big guy. So to push like a really tall guy out of that window, like it seemed like it would take some really strong force to do that. Like it would take some really, you know, maybe another big guy like him to put, because those windows, you know, in those apartment buildings are not exactly, I don't know, you know, they're not like floor to ceiling type windows where you push. It's not the movies where you push a guy out the window and he's just, you know, it's kind of strange to me how she was able to push him out the window. And not to mention, at the time, she was 7 months pregnant with their son. I am currently 7 months pregnant, and my husband is like 5'9", and I don't know how many pounds. You know, he's like a big guy, maybe 280, and I could barely move him with all of my force. So she was 5, and I'm 5'3", and my husband's 5'9", so she was 5'5", and 7 months pregnant. And she pushed her 6'6" husband out of like one of those, you know, rectangular 25-story building windows. I don't know. Sounds strange to me, girl. But she was supposedly arrested. This happened June 7th, 2011, which is oddly my husband's birthday. But he was pushed out of the window on June 7th. Amber Hilberling was arrested the very next day on suspicion of murdering her husband. So then it came down to the fact that she admitted to murdering her husband. Well, actually, she admitted to pushing him out the window, citing that it was an accident, and the windows were like super very thin. These were her words. The windows were super very thin. And so she doesn't understand like how he could have gone out the window. Child, I don't understand how he could have gone out the window, honestly. Okay, because no, like no. And the police just charged her with 2nd-degree murder. Yeah. So your girl is locked up and she's going to trial. And eventually they convict her. They find her guilty. And that's what's sad, because I'm just like, she's in jail, pregnant, for killing her husband, who she's pregnant by. And, you know, I mean, being pregnant is stressful enough. So I couldn't even imagine what she was going through at that time. Or what she was feeling at that time. But she was being convicted of her husband's murder. Well, she was sentenced to 25 years in prison. She eventually went on a show. I forgot what show it was. I think it was like Dateline or something. But she went on a show and she was trying to like tell her side of the story or whatever. And it was seeming like the guys that were interviewing her, like they weren't really believing her story. Like, you know, they were just, you know, going off of what the evidence said. And the evidence supposedly said that it was possible for her to push her husband out of said window at 7 months pregnant. I'm assuming they're assuming that if adrenaline is rushing, you know, you can pretty much do anything. And I believe that to a certain extent. But again, she was 5'5" and like way smaller than me. Like I'm over 250 pounds pregnant. And I mean, like, I can get with the best of them, but at the same time, like, she was a petite little thing. I don't understand. Supposedly, she said that they had a good marriage and nothing was really wrong with their marriage, but they did have, you know, rocky moments like any couple does. Like, every couple has rocky moments, but to push her husband out of a window at 7 months pregnant, could you imagine? I would assume that if it really got to the point where you were in a heated debate or a heated conversation or a heated argument with your spouse, could you push them out of a 25-story window? I guess that's what it boils down to. The jury found her guilty of the crime, and so she ended up having to spend 25 years in prison. But there is a twist. There's always a twist. The twist, the gag is that she didn't really have to spend the entire 25 years in prison. And I'm going to tell you why right after this. Because she went to interview with the Dateline. Like I said, guys, she was interviewing with Dateline, and they were like giving her these like really tough questions. These were like really hard questions. Like, they really weren't trying to hear her story. Like, they were supposed to be there to listen to her story and get her side of the story and everything. But for some reason, it was just like they were kind of basically attacking her. You know, it was just weird to watch, you know. And I was just like, you know, I don't know if she's guilty really or if she's not. Like, I couldn't really pinpoint it myself. And I am no expert. I'm no forensic expert. I don't dibble and dabble in those sorts of things. I do, however, you know, watch plenty of those shows. But that doesn't make me an expert. But, I mean, come on. Like, I don't think that a 5'5" woman who's 7 months pregnant would have killed her husband in that manner. I mean, the easiest way to kill your husband, I'm 7 months pregnant and I'm always tired. I'm always, you know, huffing and puffing around here whenever I'm walking or doing anything. So my thing is, the easiest way to do anything is my cup of tea. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do the easy way out of everything. You feel me? At 7 months pregnant, I don't think pushing a 6-foot man out of a window is the easiest way to kill someone. Here's what the prosecution said. They were saying that she caught him off guard. They said that she was able to catch him off guard. That is how she was able to push him out of the window. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of plausible. You know, you can catch somebody off guard and they can stumble. You know, they don't have their gripping and everything like that. I can dig that. But again, he was 6 feet. And I mean, at 6 feet, I'm assuming he's like over 200 pounds maybe. And she's 5'5", 7 months pregnant. So y'all tell me what you believe. I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know. It just seems very hard to believe. But again, I guess it could be plausible because, you know, adrenaline is one heck of a thing. And once it's rushing through, you pretty much do anything. But an argument over not going to a father-in-law's or a father's wedding could cause that, it would be like saying, I woke up this morning, you didn't fix me breakfast, I'm murdering you. It's just weird. It's just odd. So she had the interview with Dateline, or with the interview, I can't remember which. Anyway, she had the interview, and that was October 24th. She had just had her 25th birthday, October 1st, 2016. And so October 24th is when they did the interview with her of 2016. So she had the interview and she goes back to her cell. And in her cell, I'm assuming she must be like stewing and like really thinking about what's going on and how her life has been. And she decides that that day was the day. Literally. She is found in her cell, unresponsive, dead. She was dead in her cell. And I mean, honestly, how can you blame the girl? She had a baby in prison. She's never able to see this baby grow up and become something wonderful. Her husband's dead, and she's doing 25 years for his murder. She could have fought her case. I would have loved to hear and see homegirl fight her case. Like, she should have fought her case. She should have went in there and was just like, you know what? Y'all tripping. I don't understand how I could do this when I am freaking pregnant and kill my husband. I think she should have fought and appealed and things like that. And maybe she did, and she just lost her appeals. The Supreme Court, you know, didn't want to hear her appeals, maybe. I don't know, but could you imagine being, you know, 7 months pregnant and being accused of murder? Think about all of the emotions that you are going through while you're pregnant, first of all. Like, you're pregnant and you already have all these emotions going through you. But you could have, you know, depression during pregnancy. So that's taking a toll on homegirl. I'm sure it was. And then after she had her baby and she's got to be locked up. She can't even be with her baby. But I couldn't do it. I know I couldn't do it. So I don't condemn her at all. Like, a lot of people said some really mean things. I was just like, you know, sending her. Oh, the lady, like one of the guys, one of Josh's family members sent her like a really mean message while she was in jail. Like, after she had gotten locked up, sent her like a really mean message. And I mean, I'm sure that wasn't the only one she got. Like, I'm sure she got plenty of mean messages and notes that probably ended up making her stop her mail because she didn't, you know, want to deal with that. The only people who were really behind her were, you know, a slew of supporters and her family, who I'm assuming is now taking care of the baby. But it's just sad to know that, you know, she felt no way out, no other way out. Like, she couldn't do the 20 years. And she felt that she had no other way out of her situation but killing herself. It seemed like everything she said, they just threw it out the window. Oops. But it seemed like nothing she said they believed. And she was telling them that she didn't intend to kill him, that the fight had escalated, and that, you know, it was really self-defense because she had feared for her life. The justice system seems to lean more towards women when it comes to the self-defense thing. But poor Amber Hilberling, you know? Like, she was so young. She was 20 years old when her husband died. Like, she didn't even get a fighting chance in court. They just knew they were convicting her. And they sent homegirl up the river, pregnant and all. Like, they really were heartless about it. And what's sad is that she was really in love. It like seemed, the way she talked about him in the interview, it seemed like she was really in love with him. Like, you know when somebody's in love with somebody, the way they talk about them. And it's sad because it sounded like she was really in love with him. They had just had their anniversary and everything, and then that happened. So it was just really sad. Again, she decided that the best situation for her would be to just take her own life and just let go of all of the world's issues and leave everything behind. Hopefully her son will be able to move forward with his life and grow and prosper and do wondrous things, because without his parents, he's lost both of his parents. So that could be devastating for a young man in this world. I'm super duper sad for him, and my heart and prayers go out to him. That is the end of today's story time, our Halloween spooky pregnant murder time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel because you don't want to miss all the rest of the spooky findings that I will be having in store for the rest of Vlogtober. And don't forget, Vlogmas is coming up, guys. Love you lots. See you next time.